Hello, my name is Greg Grexa. I'm a PGA teaching professional here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Today I'd like to look back in time to a video that I did in February of 2012. Since doing that video, I feel like obviously I've become a better instructor, and trying to use the right words to get things across to my students is critically important. And in that particular video, we were talking about lagging the club, wrist hinge, release, and those things that are obviously and evidently very important to a golf swing and what helps LPGA Tour players and PGA Tour players be successful out there on tour. Now, as instructors, we do see from time to time what we call casting, and it's very evident that people do it, and most of the time they do it more at the top of the swing. They have a very difficult time maintaining the angles into impact because, quite frankly, at the top of the swing, they dissipate and give that angle away. Now, the reasons why that occurs is, to me, there's many different reasons, but ultimately it's the case of trying to hit the ball too hard, too quickly. So some of this technique is totally derivative upon the fact of staying smooth. Now, as of late, I would say within the last year to a year and a half, I tried to eliminate the word slow from my teaching. It's not that I don't use the word, it's just that I try to keep it out of my verbiage as much as I potentially can. So what I try to anticipate is when you make a turn to the top, whether it's too long, short, or whatever, is try to stay relatively smooth into the transition move. So when you get there, you're just not stepping on the gas pedal too quickly with your hands and your wrists, okay? Your wrists ultimately release the golf club. The question is, where do they release the golf club? So with that being said, I have a couple of simple drills that you can certainly try to help get what they would call hitting down, shaft lean. Those are things that you're going to hear about, especially when you're watching PGA Tour or LPGA Tour golf on the weekends. A lot of the analysts, they talk about this, but often they don't have a lot of time to describe exactly how some of the players do that. And they all have their own way of getting lag and creating release. But let's talk a little bit about how we can reinforce the idea of having that happen in your particular golf swing. And always remember, each individual is going to be slightly different. So as an instructor, I'm obviously going to try to help each person that I work with kind of make their own rehearsal swing or swing thought that's going to work best for them. Now, if we just make a big full swing and I stop here, pause at the top, without moving too much, the first move is this with a lot of people, and they get this, and then the lower body is really late. Well, in many cases, if you can feel the calmness and almost just kind of let the arms lower, it's almost like the more passive you can try to be with your hands and wrists at the top, the lower body and the hips will start to engage a little bit quicker. If you think of that centrifugal force, the analogy would be similar to maybe a baseball swing. Well, I've never seen a professional baseball player hit a home run like this. And if you think about the physics of releasing back here, it would be very, very difficult to do in a baseball swing or tennis or racquetball. So you're always going to see the energy of the body move first, the arms, the upper body, and the rotation move into place, and then a very powerful release. That's what creates speed and compression. Whether it's a baseball, golf ball, tennis ball, racquetball, doesn't matter. The physics should be identically the same. But as soon as we take an individual and we start to move them into an angled position, for some reason, they want to release, hit, and jump. Well, if we can avoid that and we stay passive and let the arms lower into place, the body will go and the upper body, arms, and hands will follow. Now here's a couple of drills that I like to do. And honestly, it starts with a chipping drill. A chipping drill is so simple because it's basically a shorter swing. And if you can master a shorter swing, then you gradually take it into a medium swing, gradually take it into a fuller swing, and so on and so on. If I do a chip shot, obviously my feet are going to be closer. I'm going to do the best I can to keep the ball very, very centered for this particular chip shot. And I get my stance and I stay calm. When I swing back, this would be no wrist hinge at all. This would be just wrist hinge. And this would be a combination of both. Okay? Now, when I swing up, my arms are going to swing, my shoulders are going to turn, my hands are going to hinge. If I get into this position, I'd like to call this position at this point in time the L position. And in the L position, my hands are already basically loaded at a 90-degree angle, and the left arm is parallel with the ground. Now, if I want to go to the top or go a little bit more, all I'm going to really do is turn my shoulders to complete the backswing. Let's stop and use that L position for a helpful position to encourage lag and release. Once I get into the L position, if I can gradually lower into this position and maintain that same specific L, I would be into the area where I would classify the hit zone or the release zone. Here is where I want to release the golf club. Not over here, not up here, right in here. Now I never want to stop moving. The intentions are to keep the body and arms pulling as the wrists and the hands release the golf club down. You may have recently seen a video that I did called using the Impact Snap device. The Impact Snap device, which I'm not using in this current video, is obviously very beneficial to what you're seeing in this video. But let's try that a couple times. See if you can do it smoothly and slowly. A lot of times I like to start by just swinging, hinging, and pulling back to the ball a little bit, like a chip shot. Very simple swing. There's nothing forceful. That golf ball maybe went, I'm swinging an 8-iron by the way. That golf ball probably went about 100 yards with that swing that you just saw right there. It's an easy swing. It's small, but yet very effective. Ball was sitting here, I hit the ball, took a little bit of turf. As long as I'm in motion, I'm moving forward and releasing down, that technique is very beneficial. Again, maybe an elongated chip shot, if you will. I never want to be forceful or rushful. Matter of fact, it took me many years, even being a good player for a long time, to understand the meaning of not rushing or getting too quick in my swing, staying very calm and relaxed. Now also, keep in mind, if I turn this way for 1 second, if I release this golf club too quick, you're going to see it's going to get across my plane line. It's going to start to come in steep and over the top. I'm either going to pull it or I'm going to have to fade it back to the target. But when I lower that into position, you're going to see that the golf club stays right on its plane. Then it works down towards the golf ball as I release it to create the impact position. Okay, so again, the drill is a smooth L. Keep the L and then release it. Do it slow a couple times and feel it and make it your own. That's the big thing, is to make it your own. If you can stay smooth and keep in rhythm and don't worry about how far you're hitting the golf ball while you're practicing this, I can promise you're going to hit the golf ball first, take a little bit of divot, and you're going to make a much more fuller and balanced finish because of it. Thanks for watching this video. I hope that also clarifies, again, the things that I talked about back in February of 2012. If you would like further information, or if I can find other ways to communicate this to the people that subscribe to my channel, I would love to do so. Please contact me through my website at grexagolf.com. That's GREXA golf.com. Thanks always for watching.